meeting so far. I loved how prepared you were with the table topics. Beautiful. And Suresh, that was awesome. First speech. It's kind of hard to follow a really good speaker sometimes. You make my job a little more difficult today, but I appreciated your speech. Thank you. Evaluate to motivate. Why do we evaluate? Why do we evaluate each other?
Get better, to help each other.
To get better, to help each other.
To learn.
To learn.
Improve.
To improve.
To lower the boom.
To lower the boom. What else?
To inspire.
To inspire.
Encourage.
Encourage.
Elevate.
Elevate.
Make us better speakers.
Make us better speakers.
Motivate.
Motivate.
Cultivate.
Cultivate. Preach it, baby.
Who said that?
Agitate.
Agitate. Alleviate. Don't underestimate.
Bifurcate.
Regurgitate.
And we are going to battle the dark side. Fear. Insecurity. Stage fright. Beware. Now you might know who this is. Anybody want? Anybody know?
Michael Jordan.
Yes.
Michael Jordan and Phil Jackson.
And Phil Jackson. And Phil Jackson. Now most people know Michael Jordan. Who here doesn't know Michael Jordan? Let's just see.
I've never met him.
Okay.
Frankly, I don't recognize him from the back.
They all look alike to me.
That's the point, is that in this picture, we're looking really at Phil Jackson. Now, Michael Jordan is the best basketball player of all time.
Maybe.
No, there's no maybe. That's fact. I mean, don't start. That's a fact. But, is he capable of playing without a coach?
No.
Yeah, he is. We don't know how well he can
He
play.
needed. He thought he needed a coach.
And Phil Jackson is a great coach. But he's not a better player than Michael Jordan. Likewise, when you're speaking, you could be a great speaker. You could be the best speaker in the club. And you could be evaluated by somebody, and that evaluation can be useful. Because we need coaches. We need to be coached. We need to be able to see the aspects of ourselves that we can't see, so we can learn how our speeches affect the people who are hearing them. So far, so good? Everybody's on board with evaluation?
Yes.
That was another seat.
But what happens if you don't get evaluation? Has anyone not been following Charlie Sheen's epic winning? Well, if you just go home and do a little research, Charlie Sheen, epic winning. There's a YouTube Songify, write that down if you haven't checked it out yet. Songify, 17 million views of Charlie Sheen's epic winning. This guy is not really paying attention to the feedback from those around him, including his father, his brother. Evaluation to Toastmasters is the breakfast of champions. You want to eat evaluation. You want to welcome it. You want to dig in. You want evaluation to be what you live for. You want to come here and say, I want to learn. I want people to evaluate me and give me feedback so I can
Be inspired.
get better, grow, elevate. We want to remember, though, that evaluation is really about encouragement. And it's about progress, not perfection. And it's about moving forward through failure. I want to remind Toastmasters that this is the place to make mistakes. Yes, we want your best stuff. We want you to prepare. We want excellent speeches. But this is the place to come and mess up. This is the place to come with the wrong computer adapter with a Mac. And at the last minute need to make a change. Well, how do you do a great evaluation? Well, you do a great evaluation the same way you do a great speech. You have to have a structure. You have to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Typically, a great evaluation is going to follow one of two formats. We call the first one the Oreo cookie method, where you give some positive feedback, positive response, what worked, and then in the middle you say, here's some suggestions you can make, I think you might want to consider, and then you end with, and here's what I liked, here's what worked. The other approach that you can take is, here's what I liked, here's what you can work on, and in summary, my evaluation is. That's the basic structure. Here's a place that you don't want to make up something new. In performing arts, a great improviser is going to improvise within a very narrow structure. A great improviser just doesn't get on the stage and do whatever they feel like. A great improviser says, I'm only going to walk on this line right here for my entire presentation. And then that limits them. Then they have to do things that they are forced to innovate. In this way, too, when you give an evaluation, use a simple structure. And you can't go wrong with the Oreo cookie. Here's what I liked, here's something you can improve, and this is what I liked. So far, so good? There's a little bit of text here, because these are worth writing down, these are worth considering. A lot of people have asked me, hey, I really want to know how to be a better evaluator. I want some details. So you want to use a process. You want to have a structure and you want to use a process. So take a look. Make sure that you're reviewing the project. Make sure you know what the speaker wants if you're going to evaluate their speech. There may be something specific that is not in the manual. Listen. Open your ears. Open your eyes, listen with all your senses. And listen some more. Use the structure we talked about. Make sure that when you deliver the evaluation that it's relevant to the objectives of the speech. Or, even simpler, just follow the guidelines of the manual. And when you're evaluating, we've seen this before. If you're telling the person you're giving the evaluation to use space well, then use the space and show them, don't just tell them. Great speakers. What do great speakers do? What are the characteristics that you're actually going to be evaluating to help them grow? What's in the game? Anybody want to take a swing at it? What are we looking for in an evaluation? Yes?
Honesty.
Honesty. Great.
Charisma.
Charisma. What are the elements of a great speech? Clarity.
Beginning, a middle, and an end.
It's good structure, beginning, middle, and end.
Preparation.
What's that?
Authenticity.
Authenticity. Yes. What else?
Preparation.
Content. Preparation.
Organization.
Organization.
Connection.
Connection to the audience. Rapport.
Good stories.
Good stories.
Heart.
language.
Heart. Feeling. Body language.
There you
Sex appeal.
Sex appeal. It's got to be sticky enough to be interested. What else?
Some passion, maybe.
Some passion.
Not maybe.
Let's see what we got here. This is it. This is the stuff of a great speech. The content needs to be good. The language needs to be precise. The timing. Bow to the red light. Cultivate the ability to get your point across within the set time. Because when you leave from here and you present, they'll say, you have 10 minutes. Great. Could you let me know when it's 8? If anybody wants these, I'd be happy to send you this PowerPoint.
Would you send it to our group?
Yes.
To Dawn, could you, Dawn, one thing, I'll give it to you.
Now, how are you going to give this feedback? It could be really complicated. We could talk about specific language to use, but I was noticing that the same rules for good interpersonal communication apply to a good evaluation. Now I remember Lewis and Diane did a great speech on communication. It had to do with 4 elements of communicating when there's heat and passion with somebody. Share the facts, share how you feel, state what you want, make a request. Something like that. Well, you could use that same form in how you deliver your feedback. You state the facts. You state behind the lectern. Now, when you state how you feel, that's just your response or your opinion. I could have been drawn in more if you'd used the space better. What you want is for them to succeed. And you make a request. This time your request is simply feedback. I would suggest that the next time you speak, you try using a linear breakdown of the space to make your point. The keeper in feedback, and this is something I'd like to see used more often from performance art training, is when you did X, I experienced Y. Oftentimes when we're doing feedback, Toastmasters suggest that we say something to the effect of, I liked it when you did this. What's really going to pull me is if Bert tells me, when you showed the slide of Yoda, I laughed. Because it's a clean, clear experience. I did X, he experienced Y, therefore I can replicate that with other people. And the main point I want to leave you with this evening, if you've gotten nothing else from this speech, is that Toastmasters training is emotional training. The word heart is core, from which we create the word courage. And the evaluation needs to be encouraging. It needs to give the speaker heart. So in wrapping up the total package, you need to have a structure, you need to have form, you need to have a process, you need to know how to deliver it well so it's received. You need to remember that it's all about the heart so that the person's ready to go for round 2 against that dark side. Fear, insecurity, stage fright, beware. Thank you.